Straight ahead on WBKB, we talk with a staff member about last week's Special Education Day. Plus, the city of Alpena is seeing a growing number of unlicensed contractors, and Pfizer announces a big expansion in southwest Michigan. You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
Live from Alpena, Michigan, this is WBKB 11 Late Night News. We have the most up-to-date information on local news, weather, and sports. With an update on today and your first look at tomorrow, this is WBKB 11 Late Night News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carter Landis. Alpena City officials are showing concern over a rise of unlicensed contractors in the area. We spoke with one building official and a local construction company about the dangers of hiring unlicensed workers.
If you're taken advantage of in many instances by an unlicensed contractor, you're just out the money.
With labor and material shortages, many contractors are looking at full schedules. At Leavesley Construction in Alpena, they're one of those with a lot on their plate.
Right now, we're currently 2 years out in our schedule with no room for any fit-ins and no room for any little jobs. Most contractors are in the same boat.
While that sounds good for their business, more and more unlicensed contractors are appearing in the area and taking on construction jobs. Building official with the city of Alpena, Don Gilmet, says hiring one of these contractors is a huge risk to homeowners.
Anytime you're looking at getting work done on your house, you should always ask, are you licensed? And ask to see the license. Are you insured? And ask to see the insurance.
They are not able to provide you with liability insurance if something was to happen with the project, which it does happen. They do not have workers' comp, where if somebody gets hurt on that job, which this is a very dangerous industry, that will fall back onto you.
Gilmet has seen the rise of unlicensed contractors and witnessed multiple people lose out on thousands of dollars because of it.
I know of 3 in the past month, people that have lost money. One was to the tune of $12,000, one was to the tune of about $36,500, and the smallest one was $1,250.
When it comes to getting that money back, it's an extremely difficult process with no guarantees.
We're working through law enforcement and through the prosecutor's office with the police departments to try to get them some restitution. Unfortunately, there's very little restitution with these unlicensed guys. Once they've got your money and spent it on something else, it's very hard for you to get it back. At best, you're going to get a judgment.
Michigan is a right-to-work state, allowing customers to hire individual handymen daily. However, Gilmet has seen a few cases of unlicensed contractors with a whole crew of employees on the job. He suggests anyone looking to get work done on their homes call their local building official to check out who they're hiring in order to protect them.
Friday was National Special Education Day, and Alpena Public Schools was proud to recognize it. We spoke with a school district staff member about how special education is conducted in the area.
It happens annually on December 2nd, as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act was passed on the same day in 1975. It has since been an important day that opens up communication on how to better advance special education and make it more accessible to the students who need it. APS has about 12% of their students receive these resources, short of the national average of 15%. Stacy Moores, the executive director of special populations for APS, talked about what it's like to have a day that recognizes special education.
It's very rewarding work, but it is hard work, and so it's just nice to have a day that is recognized for their hard work and to have the opportunity to thank them for their hard work. And then also just to recognize that we have that unique population and just how special they are.
Moores oversees programming for special education in the district. She is in her first year as executive director at APS, but she has been involved in special education for almost 20 years. She says she is proud of how the schools integrate students of all learning abilities.
They are in a lot of general education classrooms and participating and learning right along with their same age peers who don't have disabilities. So I feel like overall they're really integrated nicely and accepted by our school community and our community as a whole.
As society learns more about people with special needs and conversation takes its natural flow of discourse, Morris says she's seen more empathy and acceptance in the community.
A lot of the students who have disabilities and individuals who have disabilities, you may not even know when you meet them out and about at the store or at community events. They just need a little help learning in the school environment or in the workplace. So generally speaking, I think that our population is really well received in our community.
APS is proud to have an incredible staff that supports special education students who strive to overcome their challenges and attain their goals.
Toys for Kids is collecting donations in Alpena. Due to the pandemic, inflation, and other situations, Toys for Kids hasn't been receiving donations like they have in previous years, and it's having an effect on filling gift requests. The goal is to give the children a small, medium, and large gift, including one puzzle and a game per family, a craft activity, coloring books and crayons, stocking stuffers, and a stuffed animal. If you'd like to donate to Toys for Kids, they can be dropped off at the Thunder Bay Plaza next to Neiman's from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now in state news, Pfizer is investing $750 million in its Portage manufacturing facility. The announcement coming this morning in Lansing alongside Governor Whitmer. The expansion is expected to bring 300 jobs to the Kalamazoo County area. The vice president and site leader at the Portage Pfizer facility, David Breen, says the investment will help the company produce life-saving, injectable medicines for patients around the world. This announcement coming nearly 2 years after the first ever COVID-19 vaccine left Pfizer's Portage plant. This announcement builds on a $465 million investment back in 2018. Breen says the $750 million announced today will help create a modular aseptic processing production facility.
This investment will make sterile injectables easier to use by converting the vaccines to pre-filled syringes, making it more efficient and convenient for consumers.
Breen says right now the Portage plant has 3,000 employees. Now they'll be looking to fill 300 additional jobs. Some of these openings including scientists, process engineers, construction workers, operators, and technicians. The Alpena City Council held a meeting tonight in the City Hall building. One of the items on the agenda was the presentation of the community survey results of the Culligan Plaza renovation. The initial presentation of the renovations took place in September and was met with backlash. The city then put out the survey and allowed the community to have their voice heard on what the plaza should look like. The data has all been gathered and a timeline on the process should be released this month. Mayor Matt Walagora talked about what the process has been like.
I think just the social media attention to the original model is probably what drove so many people to take the survey and be involved. So really, it's a great learning experience for everybody all the way around, but in the end, it's going to work out fine.
The final model is expected to be announced in January of 2023. You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online. Visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night. Still ahead on WBKB News, the Georgia Senate runoff election takes place tomorrow, and meteorologist John Gross is next with your weather forecast. Welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist John Gross is here with a look at our forecast. John, what is going on?
And a good Monday night. Here's a look at what we're tracking for you as we're going into the brand new week. Chances for a few isolated rain or snow showers still will hold as we go Tuesday and even into the day on Wednesday. There will be a system to watch later Thursday into Friday. The track of that system still a little bit up for debate, but as we go later into the weekend, it does look like as of right now, that should be trending mainly dry and fairly quiet for Saturday into Sunday. Here's your day planner as we go in throughout your Tuesday. Atlanta, you got temperatures right there near 30 to start off. Mid-30s should be looking good by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies, and again, can't rule out a few rain or snow showers, especially as we're going later into the afternoon and evening. Here it is on the model as we start off Tuesday early morning, and still just a few of these lingering snow showers, maybe a few rain showers in the mix. Can't completely rule it out. I think it's going to be more isolated than anything, but temperatures as we start off the day below freezing, so a few elevated surfaces definitely still could be a little bit slick as we start off the day. Here comes another wave of a few more rain or snow showers possible as we're going later into Tuesday evening, overnight, and then again into Wednesday. By the time we do reach Wednesday, however, it looks like at least our area, northern lower, should remain mostly dry. I think there will be a few better chances for some snow showers up into the UP, but as of right now, Wednesday looks like it's going to be a relatively dry day. Now, we can, again, rule out a few more lake effect snow showers or even a few rain showers as we're going throughout the day, but it does look like most of your Wednesday should have some more dry time. time compared to precipitation. Let's talk about snowfall as we're going throughout the next several days, and not going to be overly impressive here. I really don't think we see much, if any, accumulations. Anything that we do see is going to be very light, maybe about an inch, and any accumulation should be looking better on any elevated surfaces or grassy surfaces over the next several days, because temperatures actually going to be a little bit above average. Check out your numbers right there. Harrisville for the next 7, mid to upper 30s, and you could even sneak in a few low 40s now as we go past the weekend, but even there into next week. So your temperature outlook as we go throughout the next 6 to 10 days has a lot of orange on the map. So we're not going to be talking about 50s or 60s, but you have to compare the numbers to where our average highs are at right now. Now, as we go throughout this week, we keep those numbers right around the mid 30s. So I do think we will be talking about plenty of upper 30s, near 40 high temperatures for many as we go in throughout the next several days. And that's pretty much what we have right there for you into the next 7. So check that out. If you rain or snow showers possible, better for us as we go throughout the day on Tuesday. Can't completely rule it out Wednesday. Keeping an eye on another system Thursday, Friday, but right now we keep that dry as well as your weekend.
Thank you, John. Now it's time for our photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Nora Chimner of Greenbush. Nora shows us their partner of 50 years, Margaret, along with her Santa Bear and Christmas teddy bear collection. Thank you, Nora, for sharing this photo with us. And if you have an interesting photo of people, places, or things that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com. Coming up on WBKB News at 11, the CDC urges people to get vaccinated ahead of flu and COVID season. And Drew Chelly will be in with the latest in sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. The candidates in Georgia's runoff Senate race made their closing arguments today. For those who didn't vote early, tomorrow is Election Day in the contest between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker. Georgia voters face a decision that will have far-reaching implications for the country. Skylar Henry reports from Atlanta.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock began his final day of campaigning with members of the Teamsters Union in Atlanta.
And I promise you guys, if you stand up with me just one more day, I'll stand up for you for the next 6 years.
Later, he held a rally at Georgia Tech, urging students to get out to vote.
It was really exciting, lots of momentum and energy. Yes. Very motivating.
Republican challenger Herschel Walker continued his Evict Warnock bus tour Monday, stopping at a restaurant in Flowery Branch, Georgia, and a pool hall in Dawsonville.
Now we're working on turnout.
Walker needs big turnout to win.
The way the government's going right now in the wrong direction, we need somebody that's got our back.
Though Democrats will control the next Senate, a Warnock win would give the party more leverage in deciding the makeup of key committees, an easier path to confirming judges, and more wiggle room in close votes. Georgia election officials say more than a quarter of active voters in the state have already cast ballots in early voting. But there are concerns about turnout because of heavy rain in the forecast. Georgia's senior senator, Democrat John Ossoff, says Georgians are used to obstacles.
Even last week, when made to wait in line for 2 or 3 hours to vote, I have seen how determined Georgians are to exercise their constitutional rights.
He believes they'll show up on Tuesday. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Atlanta.
Hospitalizations for flu and COVID-19 are increasing. Health officials are reiterating how important vaccination is to keep people from getting severely sick. Naomi Ruckham has more.
It's been a brutal week for the Cow family of Irvine, California. Dad Brendan and kids Emma and Henry all came down with a nasty virus.
It's been hectic. A lot of that has fallen to the shoulders of my wife. Myself and Henry spent about 2 days just in bed.
This year's respiratory virus season has seen a perfect storm of RSV, flu, and COVID-19 all circulating. For the flu so far, about 8.7 million people have been ill, 78,000 hospitalized, and 4,500 have died from the flu, including 14 children.
Hospitalizations for flu continue to be the highest we have seen at this time of year in a decade.
While there are signs RSV is peaking in some parts of the country, COVID-19 hospitalizations are increasing.
Health officials say vaccination is the best defense against flu and COVID-19, and it's not too late to get your shots.
Both vaccines, very important in making it less likely to get it and even more important, making it less likely that we'll get very sick if we do get the virus.
The surge in respiratory illnesses has sparked a rush on fever-reducing medications like acetaminophen and ibuprofen. The cows visited multiple stores and found these empty shelves.
So you were really rationing what you had.
We were rationing and deciding that, the younger child who doesn't take ibuprofen very well, that we had to save the acetaminophen for him.
The family eventually found medications online, is now on the mend, and hoping to stay well the rest of the holiday season. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Next on WBKB News, which countries have the most and least vacation days? Find out on Money Watch when we come back.
Hometown feel and
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a quick look at some of today's top financial headlines in Money Watch. Former Twitter employees take legal action, a crypto CEO testifies, and which countries have the most vacation days? CBS News' Matt Piper has the latest business headlines.
A group of laid-off Twitter employees and their attorney Lisa Bloom are set to announce new legal action against the company today. The tech giant, now owned by Elon Musk, abruptly laid off half its workforce, close to 4,000 people, just a month ago. Bloom says the new legal action will be the first filing of its kind in the Twitter layoff. Disgraced former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried is suggesting he will testify before the House Financial Services Committee. In a tweet Sunday, he indicated he'll do so after he's finished learning and reviewing the events that led to the collapse of his cryptocurrency exchange. The House committee is expected to hold a hearing next week. And if you feel you do not get enough time away from work, there's a reason for that. The U.S. ranked second to worst in the world when it comes to how much paid vacation workers get, besting only Micronesia. That's according to an analysis by Resume.io, which reviewed data from close to 200 countries. It found Americans only receive, on average, 10 paid vacation days, which has a direct impact on work-life balance. On the other end of the spectrum, Iran came in first place, where, on average, employees get 53 paid vacation days per year. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
In your Health Watch this evening, a challenging landscape may be good for your health, and the top recommendations for infant sleep safety. Jared Hill has more of the day's top health stories.
A new study in the journal Pediatrics confirms the use of non-approved sleep surfaces and soft bedding does increase the chance of suffocation among infants, but not unexpected infant deaths. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends babies should sleep alone on their backs on a non-inclined surface without soft pillows, toys, or bedding for their safety. More young people are ditching booze for marijuana, according to a new study in the journal Clinical Toxicology. Over the last 20 years, cannabis abuse increased 245% among children 6 to 18 years old, while alcohol abuse steadily declined. Researchers link the change to the rising popularity of edible cannabis. And if you're looking for motivation to get up and get moving, look for a challenge. A University of Cambridge study found about 80% of walkers prefer more challenging routes, incorporating higher steps and other obstacles over more conventional sidewalks. Researchers say the more challenging route can be a stepping stone to improved cardiovascular health. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Sports is coming up next, but first, Drew Chelly is here with the preview. Drew, what's happening?
Thanks, Carter. We give you a look at the Alpena girls basketball team. Plus, it is a full slate of high school hoops. Stay right here on WBKB for all that and more as the news continues.
The Hub.
Coming off of a district title in the 2021-22 season, the Alpena girls basketball team is setting out to do it again.
Alpena got their 2022-23 season started with a win. They took down Oscoda 57-53. The team now prepares for another tough task Tuesday night as they travel to take on Cadillac. Head coach Laura Doobie talked about the keys to getting another win on the road.
Like I said earlier tonight, we struggled a little bit on defense, on playing man and weak side and helping on that weak side. And Cadillac plays a really quick up the court, 5 outs, get it inside, get it out type of offense. And we've been really focusing on our weak side and help our help side, and getting out and closing out onto the shot, outside shot. So that's what really we're focusing on, and I want to see some of that.
While the team had to replace some key contributors from last year's squad, they do have some experience returning. Senior captain Mara Wisniewski has been expected to step up and be one of the leaders of this team, a task that can be challenging with the new roster.
Losing a lot of seniors last year and being one of the seniors that came back, being able to start that leadership and bring everybody together it's challenging at first because we have a lot of new people, but now I think we're all close enough to understand how each role is played. So
the jump to the varsity level is a challenge for any player. While the team was happy to get the win on opening night, they know it will still take time to get the new team members up to speed as the season progresses.
We have a lot of new people, so being able to work with them and having them come in and get used to having the first game. It's hard to get used to everything, faster pace in varsity, but they did well and we all worked together, so it really worked well.
The Wildcats are back on the road this week, taking on Cadillac on Tuesday and Sault Ste. Marie on Friday. They play their first home game next Wednesday against Escanaba at Alpena High School.
High school basketball action in Atlanta. Both the boys and girls teams from Atlanta and Charlton Heston squared off. Start with the girls. Second half, and Brianna Kitchen misses the first shot, but she's going to get her own rebound and put it back in for 2. Atlanta offense was firing in this one. Janessa Larson is going to knock down the three-pointer from the corner on one possession. A couple possessions later, off an inbounds pass, it is Larson again, and she's going to knock down her second three-pointer of the quarter. Couple possessions later, Larson finally going to miss one, but Miley Switalski is there for the putback. 2 more for the Huskies. Later in the half, after a steal, Atlanta is running. Nice crossover move here by Shaylin Lance. She's going to get all the way to the basket, lay it in for 2 more. Clock winding down in this one, and Kitchen is going to get to the rim and finish with a nifty reverse layup for the Patriots. This one, however, was all Atlanta. They take down Heston 57-15. The boys would follow in this one. Heston rolling early after the missed shot. Big man Ryan Patterson there for the putback. He had a big night on the glass. Here it is going to be Patterson again. Heston runs a nice set play. They find him for the easy layup. They lead early. Heston point guard Ethan Sharrow had an impressive night. Here he hits Gabe Osborne with the pretty no-look pass, and it is an easy 2. Here it is Sharrow again. He's going to run the floor, and this time he is going to hit Patterson with the nifty pass. No problem laying this one in. Heston by 13. This kid just makes his teammates better. Here he drives and he's going to drop it down to Osborne, who shows a little flair with the reverse layup. And he is not just a passer. He can get to the rim. Here he's going to get all the way to the rim, and he is going to lay it in with the finger roll. Heston gets off to a good start as they take down Atlanta. Defending boys district champion Hillman got off to a good start. Trenton Terratuta scored 20 in their opening win over Gaylord St. Mary's. Mayo went on the road to Augrey Sims and took down the Wolverines 60-26. In other boys action, the Hale Eagles took down Rogers City by a final score of 51-38. In some girls basketball action, Augrey Sims took down the Mayo Thunderbolts, final score 46-30. As the Michigan Wolverines prepare for their second appearance in a row in the college football playoff, Jim Harbaugh has announced he will be back for next season. After considering a job in the NFL after the 2021 season, Harbaugh closed the door on that opportunity and remained in Ann Arbor. On Sunday, the coach was asked about potential NFL teams vetting him for job openings this offseason. Harbaugh says he doesn't have a crystal ball, but will be back coaching the Wolverines in 2023. After coming close to a Super Bowl win with the San Francisco 49ers, Harbaugh felt he had unfinished business in the NFL. But for now, Michigan prepares for the Fiesta Bowl against TCU. Harbaugh said winning a national title would be something he'd live with instead.
I'm sure he's going to stick at Michigan for the long run. I'm sure
it's the safest bet for him. At the way he's progressing this program, he's got nothing to worry about. He can coach at Michigan until he wants to retire. A couple things to those watching. Last night there was a Facebook post about the Ann and Marceau situation. We appreciate the engagement and following, but we do ask that we keep all comments respectful, especially towards game officials from the MHSAA. Referees in any sport put up with plenty of backlash from parents and fans, so we do ask that you keep that respectful. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, you're definitely right. That's quite the interesting situation that happened last night. I mean, I didn't know it got that rowdy.
So let's just keep it respectful, but we appreciate your engagement on our Facebook site. We do like when you guys interact with our content. And the Alpena girls basketball team, as well as the boys, next Friday, December 16th, will be playing at Little Caesars Arena. You saw a bit of a preview from the Alpena women. If you have any interest, Alpena students, in going to that game, there is going to be a fan bus from the Alpena Athletic Department. Please go see Coach Dewey or the men's basketball coach. If you have any interest in going to the game at Little Caesars Arena, it should be a fun day for both the Alpena boys and girls basketball teams.
Sounds like a really fun time. I mean, shoot, that sounds like something I'd like to do. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more for you after this.
At Donors Choose, we want students and teachers to have the tools.
That's going to do it for tonight's news. Be sure to wake up with us tomorrow at 6:30 for WBKB Early Morning. We'll see you then. Have a good night.